You asked for it, and we are delivering. Welcome to the one and only all-access podcast all about your Blue Comets football. Welcome to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets Football, with head coach Calvin Brown. This episode is sponsored by Coach's Neighborhood Grill.
All right, welcome to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets Football with head coach Calvin Brown, episode 6. I want to thank Coach's Neighborhood Grill, as always, for being a sponsor for this season and last. And Coach, I think I broke my streak. I didn't go to Coach's this past weekend.
I'm sure they were looking for you.
Actually, I did. My birthday, I went with my dad. I lied. Sunday, I went with my dad. We were actually there, and we watched some football. Panthers almost pulled it out.
Yeah.
Let's get to Saturday's game. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to be there, Coach. I was too busy watching the Tar Heels choke to Duke, a 20-0 league. I don't know if you saw that.
Let's go Blue Devils, baby.
I forget you're a Duke fan,
That's
aren't
right.
you?
That's right.
Man, I was right there on the away side, super pumped. And then I had a Duke recruit in front of me who committed to Duke, was sitting in front of me. And as soon as they started coming back, he just kept looking at me. And I was like, oh, man, I'm about to hear it. Tough loss as well for us, Coach, 49-47 against a rival Southwest. How was the vibe? Because the game got rescheduled twice.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I always hate playing when we're not on schedule. I hate being out of routine. There's nothing you can do about it. It's the same for both teams. I felt good. Our guys showed up. We brought them in early Saturday, just trying to get a little walkthrough in and get them being at school, ready to go, get them in the right mind frame. I felt good going into it, but mentally we were not ready to play Saturday night.
Did you do anything that morning?
We brought them in right after lunch at 1 o'clock and got a walkthrough in. We didn't get to do anything on Friday. We had seen them, had a walkthrough on Thursday before they left, and then out of school on Friday. So we had about a 30.
Do anything Friday, right?
We had about a 36, 48-hour break there without seeing them and getting to do anything, which isn't good. But I felt good when they come in Saturday and we did everything. But when we got to the game, we got to playing. The mental aspect was gone, and football is such a mental game, and that was a huge problem we had Saturday night.
I'll tell you what you didn't have a problem with was passing. 14 for 20, 265 yards, 4 TDs, and my favorite stat, 0 interceptions.
Yeah, Logan did a really good job. He threw the ball well. They gave us some things, and then our receivers made plays. Ben Luck and Elijah Woodle, they were able to catch some short passes, make some moves, and get going for long touchdown passes. I think throughout that game, we had 4 touchdown drives that were 2 plays or less. So we were scoring fast. And a lot of that was to do with the passing game.
I put on the app to watch it, and then I turned on Sports Tone, and I heard, I feel like I just got the ball, and then I heard, Elijah Woodle, 50 yards, it is a touchdown.
Yeah, we were very explosive Friday night. It didn't take many plays. We felt like we could score anytime we got the ball, and we pretty much did. Just could not get the stops we needed, and a couple of turnovers on special teams that really hurt us, that gave them extra possessions.
It's still unique, though. You had 3 receivers with 3 touchdowns. Well, Elijah had 2, but Luck had a TD, Joel tight end, and then Quincy Lee as always. But
yeah. That means, Quincy, our short yardage guy, was able to get it in from the 1 yard line, which is huge for us. He also had a big run on a little trick play we had, a little trap play. He got lost in the shuffle and got going early on for our second touchdown. But offensively, I felt like we could move the ball and score. We just couldn't get stops.
And speaking of that, Woodle had 2 TDs, 77 yards. Luck, 85, a TD. Joel had 22 and a TD. But it was really cool, man. Ben Luck stepped up. Yeah,
Ben's playing really well for us on both sides of the ball. He's been a huge bright spot. He's much better defensively this year than he was last year. And then offensively, we knew how good of a weapon he was. He's so athletic. When he catches it, he can run so fast. If he can make a move, he can get going. So it's good to see him performing the way he is during his senior year.
When did you know during that game you had to go passing? Because, you still had 18 carries for 128 yards and 3 TDs.
Yeah, we were kind of balanced all game, even late in the fourth quarter or third quarter. We were running it a lot. We had one drive, we didn't throw it at all. We handed it to Connor, I believe, 8 straight times. And he was just taking us down the field 10, 12 yards a carry. So we felt confident in anything we can do. They were struggling to stop us about the same way we were struggling to stop them.
And Connor still had 82 yards rushing.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game. Like I said, whenever we hand it to him, he hits the hole so hard.
It's crazy.
I felt like he was getting 8 to 10 yards every time. Yeah, just to be a freshman. Early on in that game, I felt like he wasn't touching it near enough in the first half, which we only ran 14 plays in the first half. So he didn't get very many touches in the first half. So I told him at halftime, I'm like, just stay with it. We're going to find some ways to get you the ball. And in the third quarter, we did.
And we got to give some love to Quincy Lee. He's number 1 in Mid-Piedmont 3A in total TDs and scoring, and he's one TD away from being top 15 in the state.
Yeah, he does a great job, down at the goal line. He's a good answer for us down there. He's so explosive, and he loves playing the fullback position. He loves the block for Connor, and then he gets rewarded down at the goal line in short yardage situations.
Connor just don't care. He's like, hey, here's
Connor don't care as long as we're scoring. You know what I mean? He does. You see him on film every time Quincy scores, he's excited.
He seems like a team player.
He is, absolutely. That's for a freshman to have, to be that mature with how to play and understanding the game. That's great.
And it's hard because a lot of kids the age are me, but he seems like team.
Yeah, Connor and Dallas, both them coming in, they're ultimate team players. Whatever it takes for us to be successful, they're willing to do.
And I guess we talked about how we didn't have the offense on the field that often because we were scoring like crazy. But was Baxter just smart in controlling the clock? What happened to?
Yeah, that was their game plan, just to run the clock. Keep our offense off the field. They knew that we had too many weapons, so to try to keep our offense off the field. So our defense just needed to find ways to get off, and they didn't. And Southwest did a good job, but we also hurt ourselves. We gave them 6 first downs on penalties, jumping off sides, late hit on the quarterback, pass interference. Those things, especially in a couple of them, was 3rd and 19. And those really, they hurt you. When you got a chance to get off the field, we got some third and 5s, and we jump off sides, 4th and 5, jump off sides, give them first downs. So we had chances to get off the field, and then our mental mistakes just killed us. And that goes back to, I don't think mentally we were in the game ready to play defensively.
And as we wrap up talking about this game, let's talk about the defensive struggles. I know everyone wants to talk about the 6'6" receiver Mosley, but like you said, it was more a run game. What was the rushing yards?
Yeah, they ran for over 200 yards on us, but they had 57 carries for right at 200 yards. Mm-hmm. So they were less than 4 yards a carry. It wasn't like they were having big runs. There was 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, and we couldn't get off the field. And a lot of it was to do with our problems. Things that we had coached all week, our guys wasn't doing. We're making adjustments at halftime, and they go out in the third quarter and they don't do what we ask them to do as coaches. So when they're doing their own thing and not doing what we ask them to do, they're not getting stops, and then everybody's frustrated. But it just goes back to practice. They've got to be better. A lot of people were frustrated with, everybody in this crowd sees the deep passes caught, and that was a problem for us, not knocking the ball down. But it's tough to make changes when at practice other guys aren't doing what they need to do at practice, and they're not ready to play. So guys that want to play and want to step up and help the team's got to do a better job Monday through Thursday preparing themselves. And
what's crazy is you had to see again another 6'5" receiver.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a huge problem for us. It was just a lot of things, combination of stuff. Mm-hmm. When they did throw it against Southwest, our D-line, who got great pressure on Randleman's quarterback, was non-existent Saturday night for Southwest getting pressure. So the quarterback had all day to throw it, which puts your DBs in a bind. Our DBs didn't play great. It was just a combination of everything. So you can't point the finger at one specific problem with our defense. It was a group effort, lack of preparation, lack of mental execution that really hurt us.
The second most tackles in a game was this game, 58 total tackles. I think your first one was ER, but it's coming down to the wire. Basically, it's weird to me, the stats like that, because it's the second most tackles in a game y'all have had this year.
Yeah, well, they ran a lot of plays, so we had a lot of opportunities for tackles with how many plays they ran. And like I said, it wasn't just if we would have done what our defensive staff had asked our kids to do and been in the right spot like they were told to do, that we would have been fine. And it comes back to hurt you. And some of it is mentally. I guess our guys just aren't ready. It's tough for them to make checks and make adjustments on the fly. And in high school varsity football, if you want to be successful, you got to be able to do that at some point. Coaches have to be able to make adjustments if other teams are taking advantage of things. And right now, mentally, our guys can't handle adjustments. They can't handle checks against certain formations, and that puts us in a bind as a coaching staff because we're not able to put our guys in the best position to be successful if they can't get lined up. So that's one thing we're having to work on is just the mental aspect of the game. People think football is just going out and playing. Football is 80% mental. You've got to know what to do, be in the right spot, and understand things. And we're struggling with the mental aspect right now.
It fully goes into 100% buying in and trusting the coaches, it seems like.
Absolutely.
there's something the defense should be proud of to kind of motivate them for next week or this coming Friday or today if we airs. They were allowing 22.75 points per game before Southwest. Year before, it was over 30. So I mean, it's there when they actually play.
Yeah, we've shown that we can play with anybody. I just feel like we're making too many mistakes. I don't know whether it's we feel overconfident in certain games or what. And then we play really good teams. We show up and play. So we just got to be better each and every week doing what we need to do. And we need to play our game and not try to see what the other team's going to do and try to match them. We just need to go out and play. And if we can do that, we can be successful.
And I will say I do like going to the conference play being 2-3 and not 1-4 compared to last year.
Yeah, and we feel really good about things right now. I mean, if you look at our 5 games, we're 2-3, but we're outscoring our opponents. We've scored more than our opponents. Every game we've been in, you take a few plays, a few mistakes, a few penalties here and there, and we could be 5-0. With that same thing, we could be 1-4. Because we had to battle it out against Providence Grove, but we've been in every game. If nothing else, we give exciting games for sure. You get your money's worth when you come watch us play. We just need to continue that going into conference play, and if we can continue to compete, we'll eventually start finding ways to win those games.
And before we go inside the locker room, can you kind of tell me, I wasn't there this time, so I didn't get to hear it. What was your post-game speech to try to encourage these guys?
It was more frustration because of our lack of mental execution. That really frustrates me more than anything. And I tell them all the time, I can live with getting beat. I can live with losing. But when you just mentally are not in the game, don't have that, and you're giving them first downs, you're giving them touchdowns because of penalties, and you beat yourselves, it just becomes, it was more frustration in that post-game speech than anything.
Yeah. All right, let's go inside the Blue Comets locker room. This next interview is sponsored by the Coffee Exchange. Don't forget, your favorite drinks are still available at the Coffee Exchange on 42. Open Monday through Saturday. And don't forget all the multiple flavors that you can grab at the Coffee Exchange. Let's support the Coffee Exchange and their support of Blue Comets Football.
Now it's time to go inside the Blue Comets locker room.
All right, well, this interview is sponsored by the Coffee Exchange. You must have had some coffee before, after hunting. I heard you went hunting Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Did you get some coffee before the game? Because you had an espresso kick of 14-20 with 265 yards, no interceptions, and 4 TDs, Logan.
Yeah, it was a great game.
So, were you not tired? I heard you went hunting that morning.
I did, but me and Aiden come back and took a nap and played some college football and watched some college football, and then we got some food and came to the school.
I was a little disappointed. I went to go watch it firsthand and had to watch the Carolina Tar Heels choke 20-0 and let Duke come back and win for the bell.
Oh, my goodness.
Coming from a State fan, I know you don't care.
I wouldn't have spent my money on that game.
Wow. All right, so talk me through game changes. What was your mindset? There was a lot. It went from going from Friday to Thursday to Saturday. What was your mind going through?
No, I'm really just getting locked in, prepared. Saturday, when I went to bed Friday night, my dad told me, he said, wake up in the morning and do what you need to do to get ready. So I went hunting that morning and sat in the deer stand and watched some film that morning while I was just sitting there and just dissected Southwest, and it really paid off that night.
Did you miss some deer when you kept looking down at your phone trying to study?
I don't think I did. There was a couple that got by me, I think.
So going into that, did you know you were going to have to pass studying the film, or what did you see?
I knew after the Randleman game, they were going to try to blitz us and stop the run because Connor's good, and he had a tremendous game, the Randleman game. So really, I knew coming in if they started blitzing, we're going to have to throw it around. So that's what we did, and the receivers made a lot of big plays.
They really did, and I feel like you weren't on the field that long.
We wasn't. I remember one time I went on the field and threw a screen pass, and there went Ben down the sideline. I didn't even break a sweat.
Wow. I mean, 47 points is a lot, man, and it's got your numbers back up, man. 14-20, like I said, and 0 interceptions is my favorite stat. Were you nervous at all, or was it just a flow?
No, I mean, once the first one to Joel, I mean, I knew we could just throw all over him. We got whatever we wanted. It was just a great game by the receivers getting open and me putting the ball in the right spot.
So when you go out there, and I guess you start out in 22, right?
Yeah.
You go out there in 22. Walk me through the eyes of QB Logan Laughlin. What are you seeing that first series and then the first quarter?
I mean, when I hand the ball off, I just see the backers coming and coming. And the outside is one-on-one, and I knew once we started running the ball pretty heavy, we were going to get some things outside with Elijah and Ben, and they made big plays. The secondary, I knew going into the game, they were kind of young, and I thought, so I knew we were going to take advantage of a couple of things on the outside. And obviously with a lot of eyes on E, there was going to be other guys that pop open. So that's what I think Joel on that first drive, everybody was focused on E and the big play, and Joel got behind the defense, and we found him for a touchdown.
I mean, Elijah, E got 2 TDs, Ben got a TD, Quincy, and Joel.
Yeah, the receivers and running backs played a great game. Quincy always has a great game, so does Connor. We just get down inside the 5, and Quincy's so hard to stop.
And he's actually, I don't know if you know this in total TDs, he's 1 TD from being top 15 in the state, and he's leading in total TDs and scoring in the Mid-Piedmont 3A.
Yeah, he's great up front. Our O-line done a great job, and so has Quincy with hitting the hole, and then he breaks a big one. I mean, one time we ran a play, and I reversed out, and I got tackled and handed him the ball, and I was like, well, Quincy stopped. The next thing I know, he pops out the backfield and takes one down the sideline. So he's great.
What's crazy is, I mean, I feel like you have confidence in him because I think you have a few dumps you do to him too on some plays set up in the red zone.
Yeah, we work that in practice all the time. Quincy's got great hands, and if I see him in the flats on one of our rollouts, I'm going to give it to him, let him go make plays. Against Randleman, he made a great play to go up one, and I trust him a lot with the ball. Just put the ball where he can get it, and then he's on lower shoulder and run people over.
And I know you want to put it past you this game. It was a tough one, man. Where was your heart at end of the game?
I was disappointed. I was upset.
I mean, it was a lot of points, 49-47.
It was. It's like I told Coach Handy, I was like, it's the most points I've ever scored in the game, and I feel like the offense did their job, and Southwest is just so hard. They were hard to stop. They were pretty good up front, I think. But our defense, they'll figure it out. I trust in Coach Hunt and Coach Taylor and Coach Spencer and all them. We'll figure it out, and we'll get back rolling again.
During the game, did you at all get frustrated, or was it just kind of like, all right, offense, we gotta step up, we gotta keep scoring?
I just knew by like the third quarter when they just kept scoring, I was like, we're gonna have to score with them. It's gonna have to be an offensive shootout, and I was completely confident in doing what it took to get us there, and they couldn't stop us whatsoever. I knew I was going to have to make plays.
When I saw the score, I thought it was like the basketball game. I didn't know, 47-49. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was crazy. I never thought we would score that many points, but I just knew that after halftime we come out, and that's the only stop they got. And I told the guys, I was like, they can't stop us again. And the next drive, we ran the ball all the way down the field, and the O-line did a tremendous job, and we punched it in with Quincy.
Going at the end of the game, what were just being said by the coaches? What were they preaching to you after that loss going into Oak Grove?
Coach Brown would just say, keep your head up and come back ready to work Monday. And I think that's what everybody did. We showed up at practice, had a good day Monday, and it's just really come back ready to work, and you got to put the losses behind you, because if you let them get down, then we can come back and it could be bad, and just it's like a snowball effect. So you just got to put those behind you and move on.
Rumor is that after every game, that following Sunday, you dissect the film for hours, or that night, Saturday night.
Yeah, I stay up late. Me and my dad sit down on Sundays and watch the NFL and watch our coming up team that week and see what they do.
And what have you seen with, what have you seen to prepare your offense to go against a really tough 11.8 points allowed per game Grizzly defense?
We're just going to have to be very fundamental and catch the football. Like Coach Brown said, we're not going to be able to hit the big shots like we did against Southwest, and we can't get frustrated. We're just going to have to dink and dunk them down the field and take our 4 and 5 yards at a time. So I just think that just take care of the little things, be very fundamental, and we can beat Oak Grove. And
looking at footage, what kind of defense do they run?
They run like a cover 2, but it's like a soft cover 2.
So how would you attack that?
We're going to try to attack like their backers get to the hook curl areas. We got some like slants and stuff in for them, and getting Joel and making their safeties come downhill. Their safeties are jumpy, and they like to come down and play their run. So we're going to try to run a couple crossers and get them to jump one, and the other one's going to be naked. So,
well, hopefully You be careful out there. I know they got some big boys on that front line.
They do.
And but you got trust in that O-line. I know you got trust. They've been helping you out all season. They've been protecting you. I don't think you have come even near to the amount of sacks you had last year.
No, the O-line has done a tremendous job, and Coach Parrish I'm super proud of them. They work super hard in the weight room, and it's really showed off.
And it's crucial conference play, Logan. Home versus Oak Grove. Then you got a tough road game against Central Davidson.
Yeah, we just got to be locked in going down there. They're a really run-heavy team, kind of like Southwest. So we just got to be locked in and go down there and just get ready to play every Friday night.
So Central Davidson, if I'm right, is it basically I? They run a lot of I, or what is it?
They just hand the ball off. You never know where it's going. Or I remember my freshman and sophomore year when I played them when I was at Random, and it was just they were sprinting 80-yard sprints. So just got to contain and tackle the football.
Are they straight to the line? Do they little huddle, or how would you describe them?
They little huddle, I think.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it, but I think they little huddle and they just try to run it down your throat. But
what about that defense? Have you watched much footage on them yet?
I haven't seen much on Central Davidson. The only stuff I've seen is highlights from where they played the Eastern Randolph.
Okay. And then, so I guess you'll worry about it Sunday then after you get through Oak Grove?
Yeah, we got to get through Oak Grove first and get a win.
And how do you, we talked about this. The conference is looking pretty good. I mean, even North Davidson with only one win, they still had a really tough non-conference game. So what does that say about y'all's conference as a whole?
Yeah, we don't play no soft conference whatsoever. I mean, Montgomery Central's, I think they won 3 or 4 games. North Davidson has only won 1 game, but they've played Monroe and Walkertown, which is pretty legit 2A teams. So, and then Letford, they're kind of down this year, but you can't sleep on them. They play hard. And Oak Grove and obviously Central Davidson, our conference is just insane. We just got to come ready to play every Friday night or we're going to get disappointed.
So I don't know how you even stand here, because I hear you work your tail off in football, studying film till 1 a.m. You're at school, and I hear you get work hard on the farm on Saturdays. So, I mean, do you ever get a breathe?
Not really, just when I go to sleep. That's really it.
Let's take a flashback. Week 1, you were on our podcast. We were live at Coach's Neighborhood Grill. It was a great time, wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir.
I asked you this question, and I'm going to ask it to you again, and I'm probably going to ask it to you one more time before the season's over. What's next for Logan Laughlin after high school?
I'm going to go try to play college football.
Okay.
I got a couple offers, but it's just still up in the air. I'm going to see what unfolds after the year's over. Mm-hmm. And if somehow I don't go play, I'm going to go try to get my general contractor's license and try to work in with my dad and help him and take over his business.
So let me ask you this then. Are you going to let us, are we going to have a post-game podcast so you can announce where you're going?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, because I feel like you're going to go somewhere. I mean, I got a feeling you got a few offers, but you say you're not going to decide to what? What are we looking for? Winter, spring? What are we thinking?
Probably during the spring, yeah.
Okay, so we need to do like a post-show random, like, hey, we're back one more time.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of that, we got the man himself walking in, Coach Nance. Woo! And he's in here, so we'll ask you this question because I'm sure he's going to want to hear the answer. Coaches has a karaoke night. If you had to pick a song to sing at karaoke night, what would it be?
Him?
Both of y'all.
Both of us? That's a hard question. What would you pick?
Probably like Party in USA.
Party in the USA. Whiskey Bent and Hellbound, Hank Williams Jr.
All right, Coach. I hear you. Man, Eddie walks off. He drops the mic after he says this. Well, we appreciate you being on here, and I'm sure we'll have you on again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Everyone loves that Friday night cozy feeling of a Blue Comets football win. We here at the Original Affordable Furniture Store want to give you that same feeling with our furniture. We offer all mattresses and quality furniture at an affordable price for all families. Just like the one and only Blue Comets, we are your original affordable furniture. Give us a call at 336-629-1014 or come on over to 1954 North Fayetteville Street in Asheboro, North Carolina, and let us help you with your furniture and mattress needs. Buy local, stay local with the Original Affordable Furniture. thanks Affordable Furniture for being a sponsor for this past interview. Coach, can't be a couch potato this week as you have number 54 in the state, Oak Grove Grizzlies, coming to A-Town, 4-1. They lost to West Forsyth, a really good football team.
Yeah, Oak Grove's a really good football team. They've been, dominant the last few years. Coach Creason does a great job over there with them guys. They're very deep, they're very athletic, and they're very disciplined. So they're a great football team. So we've got our work cut out for us. We've proven we can play with good football teams, and we kind of raise our level of play against some good teams. So I'm hoping we do that this Friday night.
Studying film, I noticed with their stats, their passing game is similar to ours, really. They got more passes, but same yardage. They're about 49-71, 754 yards, 8 TDs, an interception. They're rushing the ball, like we predicted, 831 yards, 12 TDs off 124 carries. They're averaging 30.6 points per game. And I guess, is Carson Williams the one we got to watch out for? Or what's going on here?
Yeah, their running back's really good. We got to make sure we try to take him away. And their option offense, whatever you want to call it, dive option, triple option type stuff, we got to make sure we take him away. And so I think he's their focal point. They're trying to get him the ball. So if we can do that and try to force them other guys to make plays, I know they still got a lot of good playmakers.
Yeah.
Their quarterback's good, but he's young. He's a sophomore.
Yep.
And then they got some other skilled guys that can make plays. So, but if we can try to take their senior running back away and try to make some of them younger guys have to step up and see what we can do there defensively.
He's tiny but fast.
Yeah, I mean they're good. They're really athletic, and they can make plays.
On the film study, what are some highlights you see, some good of them, and some weaknesses that you think you could take advantage of?
Well, I think their defense is very disciplined. They don't give up big plays. Their philosophy is we're going to make sure you keep everything in front. So I've had to tell our offense this week, don't expect the big plays that we had at Southwest. Don't expect to score every second play. We've got to make sure that we're disciplined, and a 4-yard gain, even if it's on a pass, is good for us. And we need to get to 2nd and 6. We need to be in 3rd and 3 situations and not long yardage situations. If we can handle that and a chance to move the chains and go on long drives, that will benefit us this week. Kind of the reverse role from last week with us in Southwest. But their defense is so disciplined. So we can't get greedy and start trying to take shots. We got to make sure we play our game and just make sure we're under control there. Offensively, really good athletes. I think they are maybe not quite as good offensive as they were last year, just with losing Creech, their quarterback. He was one of the best players in the state of North Carolina. So not to take away from their offense, because they're still really good, and Coach Rolfus, their offense coordinator, does a great job with them. But they probably are down a little bit in that area this year. But this young man's still a great player, and by the time he's a senior, he's going to be just as good. But we kind of maybe, him being a sophomore, we'll make some mistakes that will go our way.
And you mentioned the tough defense. They're allowing less than 12 points per game. Are we going to see a little bit of run and pass, or what's the weakness here that we got to see?
Yeah, we're just going to keep playing our game and hopefully take what they give us. I think there's some chances we can take, and I think what they do, hopefully we can get Connor going for some tough yardage, but I think we can get some yardage from him. And we've told Connor it's going to be tough. They're good defensively. They're physical. They're big. He ain't going to break off long runs, but if he can get the tough yards sitting up in there, and then we can get our guys, Ben and Elijah and them guys on the perimeter, the ball in their hands, and if they can get going, get their foot in the ground and get 4 or 5 on every completion, maybe we can move the ball a little bit. And that's what we're going to have to do, just be patient offensively and just let the points come when they come. But as long as we're moving the ball a little bit and our defense is holding on and it's a tight game, we'll be all right.
Being a tough defense, you gotta have the depth, and it looks like it's DJ back.
DJ is back this week, so our running back depth is good with Quincy, DJ, and Connor. What we can do now is we have the ability to move all them guys around. They all know how to play the H-back position. They all know how to play the running back position, so it gives us some depth and can do things. DJ hadn't really ever played H-back, so he's jumped in this week. He's learned it. Been real good. That gives us the ability to put him and Connor on the field at the same time if we need to. We can go Quincy and DJ on the field together at the same time. So a lot of different options for us that will help us in the backfield and hopefully keep some guys fresh.
Let's flip the side of the ball. Any changes on defense?
There's a possibility there'll be some changes personnel-wise. Just some guys, that we got to start making plays. If they're not making plays, we're going to be prepared to run some other guys in there. Hopefully our guys will, answer the call this week and step up and make the plays. And we're going to have to be good at tackling. They're an option football team, so we've got to play our our technique. We got to make sure we're doing our job. If we try to start doing other stuff, that option offense will get you. So whatever their option responsibility is, whether they're on dive, quarterback, or pitch, they've got to make sure they're there. So if guys are messing that up, we're going to have to get other guys in, but we're going to have to be good tacklers on the perimeter to stop the option.
Going into conference play, I mean, it's big. It's go time. You just said, are you preaching them stay at home this week? What are you preaching to the kids all week going in?
Defensively, just do their job. But yeah, starting conference play, it's huge for us, and this is what we've preached all week. Our non-conference is over with. Whatever's happened. It's in the past. Right now, everybody's 0-0. We need to take advantage of that. We know we could be better than what we've shown. We've been in every game and had the chance to win every game, so why not this week? We're playing the best team in our conference. Why not us this week? Why don't we go knock them off? So that's kind of been our motto this week, how we're trying to get ready to go play. We're 0-0. Our goal coming into this season was make playoffs, and also we try to win a conference championship. Well, we're at conference play right now, and everybody's equal. So let's get off to a good start in week 1.
And there's some good teams in the conference.
Very good teams. You know, I think at the beginning of the year, everybody kind of thought some teams were down a little bit, but now they're playing well, which is expected. Montgomery Central's playing well. Ledford's starting to get a little better as the season goes, and Central Davidson and North Davidson are playing really well also. And I think we're all kind of gunning for Oak Grove, who's been the top dog for the last couple of years.
Change is good, Coach, and the word compete is what honestly you and your coaching staff have brought here, because look about it, before you came here, I mean, it was running clock after running clock, 1 win, 0 wins, 1 win. You guys, last year we had 2 running clocks, right? If that's correct?
Yes. No, one last year.
1 running clock. We have not had a single one, and we've been in every single game so far. Even the ones like randomly where everybody's like, oh, you'll get blown out. Everyone on social media, they're going to get killed. That's got to show not just the community, but you as a coach that y'all are doing something right because you're competing.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's just the mindset. The expectation that I have every time we step on the field is we're going to win. And I think our kids are starting to get that mindset, and that's huge. And that goes back to mental. Football is a mental game. If you go in hoping not to get beat bad, well, you're already defeated, and you're going to. So you got to go in the mindset you're expecting to win. And there's a lot of stuff that goes in that. Everybody wants to win on game night. It's how many are willing to put in the work before game night to do that. Like I said, everybody wants to go make plays on Friday night, but have they put in the work Monday through Thursday to prepare themselves to go make plays? So when other guys are struggling on the field, and I've got guys on the sideline wanting to go in, but they hadn't worked Monday through Thursday very hard, we don't have the confidence to put them in because they haven't proved to us in practice. And that's where you got to earn that playing time is in practice.
And what's crazy is, I mean, like I said, I'm going back to that word compete. We are less than 5 minutes combined total of all 3 losses from being 5-0. That's got to say something.
Yeah, you know, we've been right there in all those games, and it just goes back to our mistakes. And we've beat ourselves in all 3 losses. There's been bad breaks that happen.
Yeah.
We kind of hadn't been on any good luck side all year. You know, we've had some bad luck.
Game-winning interception.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of bad luck for us. But that's part of it. And sometimes when things aren't going your way, you just don't get the good luck plays. And so you've got to overcome that, and you've got to win it yourself and don't expect good luck to help you win it. And we have not done that. You know, we've made too many mistakes in every one of those losses. It ultimately cost us the game.
And we want to thank Coach's Neighborhood Grill. And my last question, Coach, for the crowd, karaoke night. What's your go-to song? You know I was going to ask you. You know I was going to ask you.
You can't ask me that. I'm out on that one. I have no idea. I'm not singing no karaoke. I know that much.
What would he do? What would our ball boy? What's his jam? What do you think he'd want to sing?
There's no telling. It would be some kind of rap music for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there's no telling what Easton's going to do.
Well, thanks for listening, and I feel like you and I should just start singing that. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. All right, we'll see y'all Friday, and make sure you tune in, like, and subscribe.
This episode was sponsored by Coach's Neighborhood Grill. Make sure you go by and support them for their support of Blue Comets Football. Are you a business wanting to support Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets Football podcast? Don't miss your chance to be a sponsor for this all-access podcast on your Asheboro Blue Comets. Contact us at sportsintheboro22@gmail.com and learn about your sponsorship opportunities. Again, that is sportsintheboro22, all one word, @gmail.com. Contact us today.